Okay. So to introduce Vatsala, ma'am, it's like showing, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि सूरज को दिया दिखाने जैसा ही है. So I welcome Vatsala Tyagi as speaker for today. She's a yoga expert and a storyteller. She brings her vast experience as a former media professional to her sessions, makes them engaging and easy for everyone, including students, to follow. We look forward for a talk. Welcome, ma'am. Now over to you.
Thank you, Riya. A very good morning to everyone who's present here.
Good morning, ma'am.
I've chosen a very interesting topic. Namaste, namaste, good morning. I've chosen a very interesting topic for today, which I think is something that is going to be relevant for everybody, no matter your age, your gender, your nationality. And it is the art of speech. What you talk, what should be the quality of that talk? And to guide us, I'm going to use a Geeta shlok where Sri Krishna explains Arjun what should be the art of speech. But before that, I just want to show you something. So let me just share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see that there are these two plants. It was a documented IKEA research where they put two identical plants in a school. And they asked the children that one plant you speak rudely, bully the plant, whatever you can think of, anything that is hurtful, you speak to that plant, and the other plant, you speak very lovingly, praise it, tell it how beautiful it is, and you're so glad it's in the school. And it was done for a few weeks. Similar plants with a similar growth, but after a few weeks, this is what they were. So you can see the plant which was bullied, the growth and foliage has just gone down, and the plant that was praised is blossoming. So what does this teach us? It tells us about the power of words. And if you see any of our interpersonal communication, speech is the medium through which we communicate with people. And when we are not talking properly, it can lead to relationship issues. It also creates problems at workplace. So when we know that when we know that how much we can do if we improve the way we talk, how much we can better our life, then why not make a conscious effort towards it? So in Bhagavad Gita, and I don't need to explain the importance of Bhagavad Gita, it's globally acknowledged today that even though it's an ancient text, any modern day problem, it is said that you will find its solution in Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 15, Sri Krishna tells Arjun, Anudvek karam vakyam, satyam priya hitam chayat, swadhyay abhyasanam chay, vanayam tat uchyate. What does it mean? The words which are not agitating to others are truthful, pleasing, and beneficial, as well as the practice of study of the scripture is said to be austerity of speech. Many of you are maybe familiar with Sanskrit, and I'm sure Hindi everybody knows. Just let's read it once again, because a lot of the meaning you will just get from the words. Anudveg karam vakyam, satyam priya hitam chayat, swadhyay abhyasanam chaiv vanayam tap uchyate. So now let me just explain it, and I'm getting a little jittery looking at this. So what does it mean? Vanayam Tap uchyate. It means austerity of speech. Tap, austerity, basically, tap is sturdy self-discipline, where you overcome all the, you prepare your body and mind to overcome any obstacles in life and achieve your goals. So when we say austerity of speech, we basically mean we are talking very excessively these days, whatever is not necessary, हम लोग को कुछ ना कुछ बोलना है. So austerity of speech refers to learn to before learning to speak, learn what not to speak. Can somebody, at least few people, put on their cameras? I'm just feeling a little lost, seeing just blank. One or two people also, if they put on, it will be some help.
Posted disable the camera.
So it's very important first to learn how to speak well. We actually need to learn what not to speak, right? Like how do we apply this in our life? So many times, just giving an example, ऐसा नहीं होता, like suppose for example, say a husband and wife have to drive to some place, and the husband suggests to take one route and the wife suggests to take the other route. And say they go ahead with the husband's route, और आगे चल के बहुत traffic jam मिल जाता है, they get delayed or something. And then the wife is the first one to say, see, I told you so. Now that's a little unnecessary. It only leads to further problems. It's just feeding your ego. So these kind of situations, we see so many times all these TV debates happen. People speak very eloquently, they can speak very fluently, but a lot of times they just end up saying something which was completely unnecessary and it leads to some controversy. So speaking, being a good speaker, some people are born with this talent. Some people can cultivate this talent through hard work. But one thing which all of us can do is speak discreetly. Know when to speak and when to keep quiet. So that's the first thing that Geeta tells us, the austerity of speech. Then moving forward, next is anudvega karam vakyam. It means speak in a way that is non-agitating to others. This is where we need to learn. Yes, somebody has written, do not speak two words if one will do. Yes, that's right. So, anudvega karam vakyam means speak in a way that is non-agitating to others. Half actually, I'll say 3/4 of a communication issues happen because we are always speaking in a way that the other person becomes a little agitated. Just giving a small example, suppose you're just walking and by mistake, you bump into another person. Now, if the other person just turns back and shouts at you, what is this? Are you blind? Can't you walk properly? What will be the state of your mind? But just imagine if the same person probably spoke in such a way, oh, I hope you didn't get hurt. Are you okay? How would you react? So the words have immense power. As we just saw in this IKEA experiment, we have to ensure that the way we speak does not cause any kind of disturbance to others. And we do this, I'm stressing on this point so much because we do this the maximum in our daily lives. Even something as simple as that, अगर बच्चे ने खाते खाते ग्लास टूट गया, our reaction would be तोड़ दो, सारे घर के सारे ग्लास तोड़ दो, क्यों छोड़े हुए हैं? Like, so we are meeting a friend for lunch and for some reasons the friend gets delayed and we start shouting, you're always doing this, I've been waiting for so long. There could be a genuine reason. So when you speak, just think about it, that what you're saying, is it agitating the other person? And speak accordingly. Because, वर्ड्स हम इन इंडिया तो ये बचपन से बोला जाता है कि कमान से निकला हुआ तीर, छोड़ा हुआ तीर और बोला हुआ वचन कभी वापस नहीं आ सकता है. सो व्हाट वी स्पीक, वी नीड टू ensure that it is not causing any kind of emotional disturbance. We speak sometimes very critically where it is not required, rudely, dismissively. We have to be careful about all these things. Okay, now suppose we are careful about not speaking in a way that is agitating to others. But what do we do if somebody is provoking us? Somebody is speaking agitatingly to us. Then what do we do? Obviously, we'll reply. It will be a same thing.
Still
But that's where
politely.
it is important not to react but to respond. And there is a Buddha story which illustrates this point really well. Uh, Once Buddha was passing through a village and a man stopped him and he started abusing him. Said, "Oh, you are just corrupting the whole place. What do you do? You just keep coming and keep giving sermons." And he just constantly kept saying bad things, abusing Buddha. But Buddha didn't say anything. He just silently listened to the whole thing. He just let the man win. And when the man uh, afterwards, when the man went on, Buddha just said, and he stopped. Then the Buddha just asked him, "Are you done or is there more to say? If you are done, then I can carry on with my journey." The man was stunned that he's been talking so non-stop, all nonsense to Buddha, and Buddha was still so calm. So he asked him, how is this possible? You've not said anything back to me. So Buddha just calmly said, "Tell me, if you gave a gift to somebody, what happens if the person does not take the gift? Is that gift that person's or is that still with you?" So he said, "No, it's still with me. The other person didn't take it." So Buddha said, "You've got your answer." So similarly, uh, I know it's very easy to say, it's a very saintly quality and it's not going to come overnight. But at least if we are aware of it, we can become better. Um, I'm saying this because the first time, it was a few years back when I was reading the Bhagavad Gita and this shlok was explained to me. I have done it in my life. I have stopped reacting and I have seen the improvement in my relationships. So that is why I'm just sharing this with you. So this is what means anudvega karam vakyam. Do not speak in a way that is agitating to others. And what else? Satyam priyam hitam chaya, which means what you speak should be truthful, satyam, pleasant, priyam, uh, satyam, priyam, chaya, and beneficial. Now, when it comes to truth, all of us know it's one of the greatest virtues. गांधी जी तो सिर्फ सत्य और अहिंसा के दम पे he had become world famous. But it's very hard to practice. सत्य हम लोग अपने अपनी पूरी दिनचर्या में चाहे छोटे छोटे झूठ बोले, but we end up speaking so many lies, white lies, but lies nonetheless. So this is one thing that you have to endeavor to make your speech truthful, because then it's going to be accurate. You will not have to worry about you know any kind of like what did you speak. एक झूठ को बोलने के लिए 1000 झूठ बोलने पड़ते. It's like that. So it's much simpler to just speak the truth. But then you should not speak the truth that is hurtful. जो किसी को दुख पहुंचाए, अगर सत्य ऐसा है तो it's better not to speak it. But you should not do this also, that if just because it is pleasing, But is it the untruth you're speaking that? No. So very, very simple. Don't speak the truth that is hurtful. Don't speak the untruth that is pleasing. There is a Gujarati saying. Is there any Gujarati person in the audience? Is there anybody in the audience? It's a Gujarati say. Who's a Gujarati?
Yeah, Ria, I think. Ria?
Is there somebody?
Yes. Ria, are you there?
Vasant ji. So, Vasant ji, I don't know if you know this saying. अगर आप जानते होंगे तो मुझे गुजराती में कैसे बोलते हैं आप जरा थोड़ा सा बताइएगा. लेकिन ये मुझे संजय लीला बंसाली जो फिल्म मेकर है उनकी मदर ने बताया था. उन लोग गुजराती हैं. So she had said that माँ को माँ बुलाना और मेरी बाप की बीवी बोलने में अंतर होता है. Calling your mother mother and calling her just my father's wife, they are two different ways. Both are the truth, but are both pleasing? So that is the point. Speak the truth, but speak it in a pleasing way. वसंत जी, आप जानते हैं इसको क्या बोलते हैं? इस वाली do you know this phrase? जो मैंने अभी बोला कि माँ को माँ कहना और मेरे बाप की बीबी कहना is different.
नहीं सुना नहीं अभी तक.
So सिंपल चीज हम लोग ने बचपन से बोला पढ़ा था, जो कबीर का बहुत खूबसूरत दोहा है. ऐसी बानी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए, औरन को शीतल करे आपू शीतल होए. You have to keep that in mind. But sometimes, truth needs to be told, and it's a bitter truth. Then what do you do? अगर आपको हमेशा तो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता ना. There are so many situations in life. Maybe sometimes the truth is bitter, but it needs to be conveyed. Then what do you do? Well, then you have to choose your words that are pleasant. Satya Sai Baba said that if you cannot oblige, at least speak obliging. And I'm a storyteller, so I love to illustrate points with the story. So there's another story for this, to make you understand this point. Once there was a king. He called an astrologer and asked him to read his horoscope. So the astrologer looked at the horoscope and he said, "Oh my God, what an unfortunate man you are, king. All your loved ones, all your friends, relatives, everybody is going to die before you. You will have to arrange their funerals." And the king was very annoyed, very angry, and he put the astrologer in jail. Then he called another one and he showed his horoscope. So that astrologer looked at the horoscope and he told the king, "King, you are so fortunate. You are such a lucky man. You're going to have a long, healthy life. And you're going to outlive all your near and dear ones. In fact, it will be you who is going to arrange for their funerals and commemorate them." And king was very pleased. He gifted them lots of gifts and, honored him. So both the astrologers spoke the truth, but it was their way of speaking. So, Anudvekakaram Vakyam Satyam Priyam. And the last point, it should be beneficial to the speaker. What you're speaking, is it of any use for the speaker? You have to see that. Because what happens is, if our talk is too self-centered, then the other person is not going to really be interested. There's a very funny story for this. I also did a YouTube video on it. Once there were two friends who went voting. And one friend was a very kind person, always very helpful. And the other friend was a little selfish, confused. And hua kya ki while they both were both in the boat, the stingy friend the miser friend, he fell down. He fell in water and he didn't know how to swim. So he was literally drowning. This kind, helpful friend, he extended his hand, kept telling him, "Give me your hand, give me your hand," so that he could save his friend. But the miser guy the word give was very unfamiliar to him and he kept struggling. Just then, this other friend had a brainwave and he extended his hand and he said, "Take my hand, take my hand." And the miser friend, the moment he heard the word take, he grabbed his friend's hand and he was saved. So this is just a funny story. But basically, the point is that when you are speaking, speak for the benefit of the listener. Um, and of course, to their level, something in a language that they can understand, like we do that. We don't speak in the same way to a child, no? Like we speak amongst each other. So similarly, that. Uh, these same points, which Bhagavad Gita has said, uh, you must have heard of that triple filter test of Socrates. Exactly the same thing Socrates also says. Just do this triple filter test before you need to speak anything. What is the first filter? What you're speaking, is it the truth? If it is the truth, go ahead. Second filter, how you are speaking, what you're speaking, is it kind or is it going to hurt the person? If it is kind, go ahead. And the third filter, is it necessary? Is it going to benefit? Is uh, that knowledge, that information that you share, is it going to benefit the listener in any way? If all three are there, just go ahead. So, Anuvegakaram Vakyam, Satyam Priyam Hitam Chayat. I hope this is clear to everyone. Then comes Swadhyay Abhyasanam. Swadhyay Abhyasanam, chef, means also study of the scriptures. Now, why do you think study of the scriptures is included in the art of speech? That's because I feel that because when you are studying something constantly every day, you are feeding your mind. That is what is going to be responsible for the way you think, probably your choice of words too. And as Lao Tzu says, that our thoughts become our words, and our words become our actions. Those actions become our habits, and habits become a character. And it's a character that shapes our destiny. So, of course, today, in today's day and time, we can extend the interpretation of Swadhyaya Abhyasanam from just scriptures to any good books, podcasts, programs like this, Consciously Positive. There's so much good content, inspirational content around. So we should constantly endeavor to study such scriptures. And one thing which is very, very beautiful, all these pointers of the art of speech, which Sri Krishna has taught Arjun Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita in itself is a very beautiful example of its practical application of it. So, see, Sri Krishna is speaking in a way that is not agitating, but actually pacifying a disturbed Arjun who has a lot of questions that why should he fight in the battle. So, Anudvega Karam Vakyam, his words are not agitating. Satyam, he's speaking the supreme universal truth, which is difficult to digest, but it is spoken in a very pleasant, in a manner that Arjun can understand. He's full of questions, and he's very patiently answering all of them. Uh, and what he's speaking is beneficial for Arjun. He's quoting from scriptures like Sankhya philosophy, and he's speaking only what is necessary. So in itself, if you see this quote, it's completely says this. And with this, I have another story to share, which I will share in the end. But I want to open the open open it for discussion, because I think there were some such lovely comments coming in. So I think all of you will have something to share from whatever I have explained right now, from your experiences. So if you have any questions, you would want to share anything, I'll open it.
Miss Vatsala, Sat Sri Akal.
Sat Sri Akal.
Good morning to you, and also good day to everyone here at Navin. It's a beautiful Monday for us, and it's a beautiful Monday for us because every day we come and listen to all inspiring speakers. Although I'm part of Mavin as well, but yeah. So my question to you, Vatsala. Okay, I have just in the recovery stage of. I have cerebral palsy. Okay, when all the cerebral palsy. When cerebral palsy since young, I've done very well for myself. I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very joyful. I've been doing laughter yoga. I've done Bachelor of Communications. I've done, since then, I'm a motivational speaker. I've come to Mavin as a trainer, and I do give talks under Nupurji and all. But recently, my wonderful caregiver, Marianne, has she went for a holiday. She went for a holiday, and before she went, I had so much of post-nasal drip. I had so much of agony. I have so much of depression, which I do not have right now. And recently, after she went back, she brought her niece, her niece and her son, and then she went back to send her son, and it's been very, very difficult because the niece is not experienced like her. The niece is not experienced like her, and it's causing me to cough at night, and causing me to it's causing me to trigger is in the sense that when I think positive about her, and because my caregiver is very smiling, and suddenly she sends her niece here, well, and she's not used to me, and I have appreciated all the things that the niece have done. But yesterday, my caregiver's niece, she had taken me to temple, and I've just recovered from my post-nasal drip, and my father was with me and all that. She banged my knee so hard until my knee is very, very painful now, and it's very so. And then I was upset that my dad cleaned the room. He should respect my boundary and by telling me that I should not be to allow it not to happen, because I'm trying, because of this trigger and panic attack and post-nasal drip that I have continuously. So I have been taking psychiatric drugs because of the cough. Yeah, because I'm constantly coughing and coughing and coughing. So how to stop people from disturbing you or using unkind words to you? Even you are kind to them, they say you're unkind. What happens to them then?
So, from your last word, first of all, to Rajvin, huge admiration from my end, because I love the fact that you are trying to do things which are positive for you, which you know is going to be good for you. So that is a very, very beautiful self-awareness to have and to strive to do that. But this striving has to be a constant effort. Don't get discouraged. If something goes wrong, don't get discouraged because of it. Now, you just said that how to stop your father from disturbing you, and how to respond to people when you are being kind, but they think you're being unkind. So a lot of times, I mean, that's what I get. Am I right? Is this what you said?
The my niece, my caregiver's niece. Yeah,
Sorry.
my caregiver's niece actually. Yeah, she's unkind to me. My father mother is kind to me, but the caregiver's niece is unkind to me. Yeah.
See, what I personally feel that your father, mother, sorry, I'm just answering from what I got out of this, but I'm also a mother, okay? A lot of times my child, if I do something and my child does not like it, he's a he's a teenager now, and you know how teenagers are.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I am doing it from a space of love and care.
yeah.
So there has to be a little understanding from the both mother and son side. Even I need to understand that there are certain things he likes done a certain way. And even he needs to understand that my mother is doing out of love. For suppose if you don't like something at all, sometime you just need to sit and communicate it with your parents and tell them very, very clearly that
I
these
do.
are the things.
I do, but the problem is my caregiver's niece. My caregiver has went away, and she brought her niece, who's not so experienced, and she doesn't understand English. She only understands Tagalog. And yesterday she banged my knee very very hurt.
So there also, Rajvin, at least you can try that first. See, if somebody is not up to your expectations, somewhere that हम लोग थोड़ा झल्लाते हैं. You understand, Hindi, right?
Yeah,
That we get a little irritated and we are like, that irritation comes through a body language and the other person can perceive it, you
yeah,
know. So somewhere if she can probably perceive, and as it is, if she doesn't know, she's not an experienced person, she might also be having a lot of nervousness whether I will be competent or not. So somewhere you'll have to also think that it's a temporary arrangement. Your full-time caretaker will come back soon. It's for a small time period. Don't spoil your mood because of that. I know it's very easy to say, it's very easy to give advice. I absolutely know that, Rajvin. But at least if you know what is the right thing to do, maybe once you will lose your cool. But the second time, immediately you will check yourself. At least that is how I have worked on my tendency to react whenever anything negative was thrown
yeah.
at me.
So much so, na. I to address this problem, I actually ignore it by listening to music, putting laughter yoga. I have not.
Yeah, but if it will constantly, you have to take it out from here. All those are external things. All those are external things. You have to first analyze it in your mind. That you have to be cool with it in your mind. Actually, genuinely let it go. This is a cultivation of vairagya. Whatever you've done, do it and then just let it go. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll ask if anybody else also has a question.
Okay,
Is there
thank
anybody
you.
else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajan. I hope your full timer comes back soon. Is there anybody else who would like to say something? You don't have to ask something.
She's in Malaysia now, but she just went for a holiday with a friend.
Yes, so she'll come back. In fact, if she comes back after a holiday all rejuvenated, she will even take better care. So just let it go for some time.
Okay, take care.
Vatsala,
Yes,
I'm sitting here. I would like to say ask something.
yes, sure, please.
That if some people have a false sense of entitlement are always bullying you, in spite of constantly telling them to stop, they don't. What should be done then? The positive manner, because these people have a tendency to get offended easily.
See, Simi, like I told you the Buddha story, there was a man hurling abuses at him. Buddha just kept his calm and didn't take it. After some time, the man only got tired and stopped. This is something that you have to work on, and it can be done. It's not that difficult. Obviously, I'm assuming that these people are close to you because actually, the most problems happen with people who are close to us. Uh, Once again, all of us should do a duty to the hilt. For example, I'm just giving you, I don't know, it doesn't fit in your case, but I'm just giving you, suppose they are a husband and wife, a couple, who have a lot of compatibility issues. For whatever reasons, they cannot separate, or there is love and respect also, but they cannot separate. Then as long as the wife is doing her duty as a wife to the hilt, what her husband is reacting to is not in her control. Similarly, if these people that you're interacting with, you've told them, they are not going to change their ways. They'll continue bullying you because that's not in your hand. Their bullying or not bullying is not in your hand. But how you react to that bullying is in your hand. If suppose they are bullying you and you remain calm, you do not get agitated. Over time, the pleasure that they get in bullying you will dim and they will stop bullying. If you've already spoken to them and they are still not adhering, this is the ability that you have to work on yourself to inculcate, not to get agitated by what they are speaking. You keep this shloka in mind now. You do not speak back in a way that agitates them further. That's all I can say. And I know that somewhere, I know it deep down that that is also the solution. It's just that working on it is what requires the effort from our end. Actually, it's very easy to make a life really happy and good. बट हम लोग जो वो एफर्ट होता है वो करते नहीं. ईगो के उसमें हम लोगों का सेंस ऑफ आई इतना स्ट्रांग होता है कि अगर इफ एनीबडी सेज इवन समथिंग which is even slightly hurtful, we just tend to take it too personally and react accordingly. And half the problems begin from there. If you are able to not get your ego in between, it's not going to bother so much.
Thanks, Vatsala.
हम लोगों को हमारा कोई क्लोजेस्ट फ्रेंड अगर कुछ बुरा बोलता है ना, तो हम लोगों को ज्यादा बुरा लगता है. But अगर कोई stranger, even if we know that it is not true, some stranger comes and tells us the same thing, and we don't know it's not true. We'll say, he must be a madman or something, and we brush it off. So that is the kind of an attitude you need to cultivate when somebody is bullying you. Generally, just think that they are not well, and just don't let that affect you.
Thank you.
I think it's time to close the session. Can I just quickly narrate if there is anything else anybody wants to say?
Yeah, I just wanted
Yeah.
to share one thing regarding
Yeah.
principle of, since it's communication and conversation. So I've heard that we should communicate in a way that people might have read physics, right? Sine wave and sine wave goes up and down, up and down. So it should be like smooth, like a straight line, right? There should be no turbulences in our speech. It should be like a smooth, peaceful way so that it comes from our heart and reaches the other person's heart. So speech should be like that. Simple, plain, smooth. So that way it appeals to the other person, and he takes, like, it is very appealing, and it is taken in a positive way also. So that's
If you
what I.
just keep this in mind, how Geeta says, don't
Yeah.
speak the words that are agitating, speak the truth, speak what is pleasant, and speak something that is going to benefit the other person.
Correct.
Your communication will be perfectly fine.
Very true. Very true.
I have experienced it in my life, so I can say it.
Yeah, that's right. And then the second thing I like to again praise is that we should not react, we should respond. When whatever other person is speaking, if we take it in a very calm way, easygoing way, even if he speaks twice, thrice, fourth time, he'll automatically not speak anything. He's not getting any response from the other side. Tali to hath se bajti hai.
100% true.
Automatically
100% true.
right.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll just end with this story. Once there was a very wise old woman who was known to, who was known that she could heal people, and she could ensure that any project was successful just through the power of her words. She was very revered, respected in the village. There was one young man who was very fascinated by this woman, and he thought how amazing it would be if I could also have the same power. If my words could also heal people, if my words could also ensure that things are successful. But there was rumor that this woman is very particular. She does not want to give away this secret to anyone because she fears that people will misuse this power. But anyway, one day he just mustered up courage and he went to the woman and he asked her that I've heard that you have the power of words that can heal. She said, yes, that's true. But I've also heard that you don't want to share this secret with anyone. The woman said, well, that's also true. So the man said, I am very sincere and tell me, what do I do that I can convince you of my sincerity and my worth to get this power? So the woman said, you don't need to convince me. I can see it in your eyes. You have very sincere eyes. I can see the sincerity in your eyes, and I know that you are worthy enough. But this secret is not mine to give you. This power is not mine to give you. But I can help you find it within yourself. As long as you do what I ask you to do. So the man agreed. So, in fact, he was very excited that finally he's going to get that secret. So the woman gave him 3 scrolls. Scrolls वो होते थे ना पुराने जमाने में जो ऐसे खोल के पढ़ते थे. She gave him 3 scrolls and she said that tomorrow morning at the first ray of sun, you open the first scroll, and only after you finish doing what is written in the scroll, open the second one and then the third one. So the man, very excited, whole night he couldn't sleep. He was just waiting for morning to come. Early in the morning, with the first ray of sun, he opened the first scroll. And in the scroll, it was written, you must climb to the top of the tallest mountain. Take with you 3 things: enough food for your hunger, a knife sharp enough to kill the strongest lion, and a pillow filled with feathers soft enough to ease the most troubled sleep. So the man with food, with a sharp knife, and a pillow made of feathers went for the journey to climb the tallest mountain. After a very hard time, once he finally managed to reach at the top of the mountain. The view there, you can imagine how it is at the top of the mountain, was excellent. Then it was time to open the second scroll. There was very strong wind, and he held to the scroll tightly so that it doesn't fly away. And he opened the second scroll, and there it was written, use the knife to cut open the pillow and allow the great wind to scatter the feathers to the 4 corners of the earth. He did just exactly, he was a sincere man, he did exactly as it was written. He took the knife, opened the pillow, and scattered the feathers all around. The wind was very strong. It just took the feathers in all directions. The man just kept looking at those lovely feathers just floating away and finally going in the horizon and away from his gaze. Then finally, after the second, he had completed the task written in the second scroll. It was the time to open the final scroll. So he opened it, and in that scroll it was written, now gather up each flower that the wind has taken from the pillow and bring it back safely to me. When you have succeeded in your quest, I will share with you my secret. Now, this was a momentous task. There were thousands of feathers which the wind had taken in all directions to gather all of them. But still, he was a very sincere man, and he really longed to know this secret. So he went in all directions gathering feathers. For a year, he traveled, kept gathering feathers, but he was not able to get all the feathers. Finally, he just very disappointed that he had worked so hard and still he didn't know. He said, let me go back and tell the woman that I'm not able to do. So when he came back to his village and he went to meet the old woman, he got to know that the old woman had died while he was away. And the man thought, oh, up to I spent so much effort, put in so much effort, neither did I get the feathers. And now there is absolutely no scope to try again also. The woman is dead and with her the secret is gone. Anyway, he went to the graveyard to pay his last respects to the old woman. But instead of flowers, he took the vase full of the feathers that he had gathered. And the moment he put that vase on the grave, the guard of the graveyard came to him. He said, the woman had told me that if anybody who comes with feathers instead of flowers, you give him this scroll. And there he opened the scroll and there was a message from the old woman. And I'll read out the message. Like the feathers in your pillow, spread by the wind, like the feathers in your pillow, spread by the wind, Every word you utter goes out into the world, never to be returned. If you speak words of anger, despair, envy, and desolation, they will cut through others like the sharpest knife, and you will never be able to fully undo their effect. If you speak words of love, kindness, appreciation, and hope, you will never need to try. Your words will carry throughout the world like feather in the wind, bringing rest to the weary, comfort to the sick, and hope to the downtrodden. When you truly recognize that each word you speak has the power to cut like a knife or comfort like a pillow, your word will be your magic wand, and that which you have been seeking will be yours. So that's it. That's with the story. Just remember the pointers and keep that in your mind. It is difficult to do, but it is not impossible. Thank you so much. I'm done with the talk.
Such a beautiful
Thank
story.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
If anyone wants to ask anything or share feedback, please feel free to share.
Thank you so
I
much.
just want to.
The fantastic topic and an amazing lecture, and it's so important that we minds our work before speaking. Because tongue, although the weakest, it has no bones, but it has a power to heal other people, and there's a power to create wounds as well. So thank you so much, and for such a beautifully conducted, and I think we learned a lot today, and I think we all be careful, and we will speak whatever we have to speak, but in a good way. It doesn't hurt others, and it benefits others also. Thank you so much, ma'am, for today.
We will improve our lives only.
Yes,
If we learn to use the words properly, we will improve our life only.
yes, so good.
Simiji wants to share.
Yeah, please.
Vatsala, I would like to thank you. I think it was a very well conducted and lovely session. And I love your stories. I think you should start storytelling again.
Thank you, Simi. Thank you so much for coming.
So I am
It was
happy I
talking
made
about
the effort.
Nice